Okay, so I put out on Facebook today about what you wanted to hear from me on my vlog, and I got quite a few responses. But a lot of them were connected. The big four were courage, pushing through self-doubt, remaining positive even when things are bleak, and dealing with depression. So I'm going to try to hit these one at a time. Courage we've already talked about once or twice, or at least I've mentioned in other vlogs. Um, you know, there is no courage without fear. I believe that. You have to actually be afraid in order to have courage. If you're just, if you have no fear whatsoever and you're faced with great trials or whatever, you're just doing your job. It's not like you don't need any courage for that. If you have no fear, there's no need for courage because you're just day to day. It's when the fear shows up. It's when you have to move forward in spite of being afraid. It's that which requires courage. And how do we obtain that kind of courage? I think it's just moving forward. You're going to feel the fear. Courage is that thing that you muster so that you can push yourself to do whatever that task is. Sometimes it's training. When you're in the military, you're trained to respond, not to think, to respond, because that's what's necessary in those situations. Sometimes it's experience. Petting. I remember a friend of mine had a Rottweiler, and when you pet them and they have this purring thing that sounds like they're eating your face, or that they're going to. So, although I knew this and I had a great relationship with this dog, I had to remind myself, because my fear would well up as this noise was being made, that it's okay, he's purring. And so I was able to pet the dog and enjoy it. I was at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and there was a couple with a Rottweiler, and I asked if I could pet the dog, and they said yes, and I did, and of course, rah, 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 rah. It sounds just like that, louder, scarier. And I was just like, oh, and they looked at me, and they're like, you're not afraid? I'm like, oh, he's purring, it's great. So experience sometimes. I don't need to be afraid here, even though my lizard brain creeps in and goes, run away. So that's for me what the deal is with courage. Acting in spite of fear. You're gonna feel fear. You're gonna be afraid. As we push ourselves to grow and become better human beings, even on a small level, on our day-to-day, we're gonna have to be outside of our comfort zone, so that requires a level of fear. And then dealing with that fear is just experience. My first times ever on stage, I was afraid. Doing something, doing these vlogs day to day, nervous because I don't want to mess it up. Just experience. You push through it and you're like, oh, I got this. I know this. I know what this is like. I know what it's like to be a Tortuga twin on stage in front of thousands of people. I know that. I got that. So I don't have fear there. I don't need courage anymore to step out. I just need to step out. But in the beginning, courage. Pushing through self-doubt. That's all these things are tied up. They're tied into each other. Self-doubt is another form of fear. I'm afraid. I'm not sure I can do this. I don't know what I'm doing. That's my rant. That's my story. Those of you who have gone to the Landmark Forum know what that means. That's what I say. I don't know what I'm doing. So that's my excuse. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I need help. It's a form of fear. And it's the same thing with courage. You just need to do. You can do it from training. You can do it. You can learn things from your self-help ebooks. Going to seminars. You can learn how to combat that. Tools like that, or it'll just instill in you this kind of bravado. Oh, I'm going to try it. And then when you try it that one time, you're like, oh, wasn't that bad? Almost every time I have doubt about something, or I don't want to do something, or I'm dragging my feet, when I finally do it, it's so not that bad. What is so much worse is my fear, what's in my head. It's all about it's all about perception. You know, it's all about uh, how I receive what's happening to me, how I react to what's happening to me, how what I perceive is happening to me. There's a book about I think it's called Happiness or something like that, and it has a bunch of different stories in it about different types of happiness, and they throw in some science in there too. And they did a study, and people who are positive, the difference between negative people and positive people is only how they react to the stimulus. The same amount of crap happens to all of us. It's what you think of the stimulus. Oh, look, the universe is out to get me. Oh, this is happening to me again. Oh, this is always just my bad luck. You're going to think life sucks. Something happens to you and you're like, "Oh, well, okay, I learned about that. All right, now I know how to do that better. Oh, this is a chance for me to grow in this situation. Oh, there's something good here and I don't know what it is yet." I don't know if I've told this story before, but I remember going on a promo for a festival, and I had to spend the night because it was a faraway promo. And I drive into this parking lot, and I'm like really, really late at night, and I'm tired, and I see it's dark, so I'm like, oh, I kind of want a room up front. You know, everything's up front; it'll be safer there. Of course, they put me all the way in the back. So I go into the room, I walk into the room, and the bed is rumpled, and I was like, oh, yeah, all right. And I walk into the bathroom, and somebody had peed in the toilet, and the sink had been used. So I call up the manager, and I say, hey, somebody's been in this room. I would like another room, please. And they're, oh, come back. So I went back, grabbed all my stuff, and they put me in the very room that I had wanted originally. So some bad stuff happened to me so that I could get something better. Often, that is what happens. And if you start looking for that, you're going to find it more. If you don't, you're never going to find it. And that's what being positive is all about. It's not like, oh, bad stuff doesn't ever happen, and it's not a Pollyanna thing. It's about finding the good in the bad. What can I do with, you either have a handful of crap or you've got fertilizer. Which is it? It's up to you. It's still the same stuff. What are you going to use it for? Are you going to be, I hate this, I don't want this on me, my life sucks, I have crap all over me? Or you're going to be, I have fertilizer in my hands, I can grow things, I can grow food, I can grow myself. I don't know. What are you going to do?